guys? Welcome. It has been a week since the last time we did a stream. I did not do one last week. Sorry, English is hard. Welcome, guys, to we're doing Akito the Exiled OVA 2 discussion, and then I'll probably do some summonings from Jazz Harry Code and call it for a stream. You guys weren't too excited about the super what was it, Super Robot Wars 30 gameplay, so I'll have to figure out something else to do. If I do anything else, I mean, 2 hours is quite lengthy as is, but still, either way, welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Read a couple counts real quick, and then we'll get into it. Let's see. Who wins? Akurugi in the Lancelot versus Sosuke Sagara with the Arbalest. If it's base Lancelot, probably the Arbalest because it has that what the heck is it called? It has that BS device. It's something driver, right? Where you use your own like body and was it your body and mind, and it can like deflect bullets, and it could basically it's basically a Deus Ex Machina thing where if you have full control over it, you can basically do anything you want. That's why Gardon can like wipe out everyone, including what's his name? What's Vic Mignogna's character? Okay, so Melissa's the black hair girl, and obviously Sosuke. I'm forgetting the blonde guy's name. But anyways, I'll look it up real quick. Let's see. Full Metal Panic characters. Let's see. What is his name? Kurtz. I hate my life. It's Kurtz. So anyways, Kurtz could probably, no, I'm sorry. Why mention Kurtz? Oh, right, because he was defeated. Because Guard defeated Kurtz with the Lantham Driver. That's what's called. I actually didn't look that up. I remember it. Lantham Driver. So if Sasuke has that going for him in the Arbalest, which that's how it works, I don't think Lancelot could beat him in base form. Now, if it was the Albion, I think the Albion probably wins. But base Lancelot couldn't stop something like that because that driver is bullcrap. Good question, though. Yeah, Layla's a great character. Absolutely. They're all, you know what? Someone wrote a comment on my Akito the Exiled review video, and I think it was a fair point, which was, if you have so many critiques of the story, why do you like it so much? And the answer I have is simply because I like the characters. That's the main reason. I like the characters, and that's what keeps me going each episode. They're so interesting and well developed, and they have like this human aspect to them, which I guess is kind of weird to say that, but they do. I understand their struggles, and they do a good job of just even small hints of making you realize what these people are going through. There's a good part, I'm not sure I had the image of it, but there's a good part at the end of this episode where you see Klaus, he's sitting in his desk, and he's just drinking alcohol, and there's a picture of his family, and his daughter's, she's fine next to him, but his wife's face has been like, he colored over it, because I assume that either she divorced him, so he's on his own, and they don't have to tell you anything about what happened to Klaus, but like it's pretty obvious. He's a lone man. He's a workaholic. You see pictures of like hot women around his office, and he's clearly depressed because his family was broken apart because of what happened with his wife. So there's a lot of stuff like that in the story where they don't have to tell you anything. You can kind of infer from what's happening. That's what I love about Akito in a nutshell. It's a great character-driven story. It's not the best narrative-driven story, which, depending on what you're interested or what you prefer, that might be good or bad. Anywho, let's get into it because I'm really excited with this episode. This is a really good episode, except for one part, but that's more something we'll get to the end. Let's get that out of the way. You don't want to see that. One quick comment before we start. I still feel silly for thinking Akito was a feminine tomboy character. Yeah, not even close. All right, so let's get into it. So Ayano narrates the beginning of this episode. I believe Leia does the first one, so they switch up between the two of them. They're great, but I still prefer C2 as the narrator, or even Lelouch at some point. We again see what happened when the Britannia invaded Japan, and then there's a whole operation about the W0 unit, how the EU is using a W0 unit to launch coordinated attacks against Europea, so they don't have to use their own troops, which is a big That's one of the biggest disputes in the story, or themes, I should say. How the EU is using the Japanese as scapegoats, or the people take the frontline hits, so they don't have to battle. You hear it all the time. Like certain characters will say it outright, or background characters. This episode kind of brings that up, and the next one as well. So Leia's in charge of the W0 unit. She becomes in charge here. That's when she was with Smiles. Then those youths try to capture Smiles, and Akito stops them. And they had no choice but to join the W0 unit. And that's the recap that starts off this episode. Okay, so we start off, and ooh, my voice cracked there. My bad. Okay, so we start off with this is a really cool scene, by the way. This is when Shin Hyuga becomes the head of the Order of Michael. Now, I love this thing here. It's very CGI heavy, I will admit, but it's just so cool how you see all these nightmare frames, and they're taking their, I think those are axe or something, and they're lining them up. It's really cool stuff. These are, of course, Sutherlands that are been, I guess, royally changed, like to look more like, even though they already look like knights, but they add more stuff to, like capes, and even the coloring is awesome. It's a really cool scene. It reminds me of if you guys remember in Turn 20, yeah, Turn 20, when Luke got all the Sutherlands to also take the spears and make like a similar path for him. I bet you they took influence from that when they made this part. We see Shang Hyuga, walking up the path to becoming the Order Michael, the head of the Order. There's Ash's first appearance and his force. Jean Ro is also shown here too, and that's important because she loves him a lot, but he's kind of a dick to her, unfortunately. So this is Duke Filane, which I remember in the Stage 26, I referenced him as like the guy who was apparently he was killed by Nunnally, which is interesting how they had their alternate universe. Or yeah, I guess alternate universe what happened. But anyhow, so Shane comes up here and they make him in charge of the Order of Michael. And I believe this guy who's in charge of Raphael, forgot his name, he's really pissed off. Like, I don't have the image yet right here. He's really angry when they induct him. He doesn't obviously express it here because of, chain of command, but he's not pleased. They all put their swords out, and I don't have the image, but they all have like swords together saying we'll support Britannia and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And again, Jen Rose over there. Ash is excited because he follows Shin Hyuga wherever he goes. If you guys know the backstory, Shin Hyuga actually found Ashley and Jean. They were both orphans, and he took them in. There's a good image at the end of this episode where you see Ashley with a wolf, which I believe is the same one he wears when he's in the winter episode, which is the next one. It was not a winter episode, but he's traveling in like a cold, I guess it's a winter climate. No, it is. He's traveling in winter climate with like this outfit of an animal. And I believe that's the same one that he's showed in that image. And so when they're anyways, back to the scene here. So when they're walking away, Raphael tells Shin here that like, I know Manfredi, and there is no way that you did not kill him. He did not kill. There is no way he didn't commit suicide. Is what I'm trying to say. I knew him better than anyone else, and so he's very suspicious of Shin Hyuga. Shin, of course, I gotta admit, his pivot was brilliant. He said, "Well, you know what? I'll stop the ghost of Hannibal who dishonored your group," basically calling him a failure. Which again was a good pivot because he did kill Manfredi. The other two don't know that, of course, but that's what honestly happened. I just it was a nice little pivot there, but you can see there's clearly mistrust among the head of the orders. Now, one thing that I'm been curious about, if Manfredi was the Knight of Two, and Shin Hyuga killed him, of course they don't know that, and he becomes the head of the Order of Michael, was he going to become the next Knight of Two, or any Knight of the round? That would be kind of cool, huh? Alternate universe, Shin Hyuga actually becomes the Knight of Two, and he gets like an updated Vercingetorix that has like flight enabled version. He'd be like a Pegasus and a Centaur. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Next series, if you guys are making if the people watching this stream, which they're not, who are making the next Code Geass series, I want a Vercingetorix with a Pegasus flight wings. So basically, takes the Seal's energy wings and put on a Vercingetorix. That'd be so cool. Isn't this an OVA episode too? Huh? Did I title this correctly? 1 second. Didn't I title this correctly? Huh, that's weird. Hold on. I said 2. Oh, my bad. I don't know why I did that. 1 second. Can I change this? Because you're right. I can't really. Did I not change the name of it? That's kind of annoying. What's the issue? The broadcast must be scheduled in the future within 1 year. No, I don't. I don't. I'm doing it right now. It's right now. I want to change the title. Come on now, just the title. Oh, don't be like that. Okay, I think it's good now. It should be good now. Okay. If it's not the correct title, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it should be good. Let me just come back in here. Let me see. Is it still not cool? No, you're absolutely right. I can't change this. Let's see. I should be able to change it. Let's just do here instead. This happened once before. Um, okay. All right. I think we're good now. Let me know if it's still kind of bad. All right. Let's see. No, it's fine actually. It's beneficial because if people are coming to the OVA and they're like, "Wait, is this the right episode?" No, you're right. I fudged that up until like 10,000 things at once here, and none of them go well, I guess. Okay, all right. Now we got through that inconsistency. Let's continue on here. So, anyways, Shin Hyuga becomes the head of the Order of Michael. He walks down with the rest of the Order members, ends that scene. Then Akito has a flashback of when Shin Hyuga used Gios on him to die. He wakes up and it zooms out. And throughout this episode, I get the impression is how it's always been. Akito is always probably getting out of bed to just stare out at the wall. He sees all the time in the episode. Now Akito doesn't have any like fancy intros. It just shows you the title with like some cool animations. There's some cool music too as well, so I love that part. Again, we see more background area like here because this show loves to flex how beautiful the atmosphere is. Which, by the way, I don't disagree. It's very nice. We see again Layla's providing more information about what's going on, their plans, which is good stuff. And I believe that's all that happened in this scene. Let me just make sure. Yeah, she was talking about a battle, and she reflects on Akito as well, which is a good example of how she really likes him a lot. Although I will say the romance between the two doesn't really blossom until the third OVA, but even early on, you can see that Layla specifically cares a lot about him. Also, not that it matters, but I like her hair longer like this than in the dumpling style that she copies from, let's say, what's her name, Miyaka or Serena from Sailor Moon and Fushigi Yugi. Anyways, Sophie Randall, she's going downstairs. She talks to Joe Weiss, who loves candy apparently. And of course, Sophie Randall, like every scientist in Code Geass, has to be a slender, tall, big titty woman, a big busty woman. I guess that's just how it goes. Who doesn't like to wear clothing? Anyways, they're talking about the data that they acquired for the different nightmare frames, and that's important because, um, as you know, Akito's data has helped them out, and also they're also testing to see if like Ryu and Ayano and Yukia would properly sync up and use the system correctly. And yeah, they're all candidates, which works well for them. That could be ugly too, right? They grab all these 11s, or sorry, these people. Doesn't matter who they are actually, and they're not even compatible with the Alexanders. So what they figured out here was that they actually are compatible, which is really nice. Meanwhile, back in the dormitory in Castle Weisenwolf, we see Ryu, Yukia, and Ayano just talking about the situation, and Ayano's not really happy about it because they took her sword. They were saying like, "Oh, the real reason you're pissed off they took your sword, right? Not because we're gonna be sent into battle." And they're like, "Yep, that's probably what it is." And she's of course because she's upset about it because her sword, if you guys don't know, it actually comes from her grandfather, so it means a lot to her. And I believe was it in this scene you see it, or maybe the next one you see the swords on Layla's desk because she took it from her. So she's really pissed off about that, understandably, of course. Yukia, by the way, is preparing to hijack the system so they can escape later on. Because if you put a bunch of rebels into a facility, one being a master hacker and explosive expert, well, you should know what you're getting into, and we're going to see very shortly. Also, I love they drew all around the walls on the wall. I like that, the graffiti. It just shows like they're it makes sense given their characters. We see more images of Castle Weisenwolf in the morning. We see Klaus talking to Hamel about different stuff. This was mentioning earlier how, like, if you look around his room, I don't know if you can see it here. It's a mess. There's alcohol because obviously he's drunken. I guess, yeah. See, just there's a naked lady over here, or not naked, but she's in her bra and panties. Because again, Klaus is in a very depressed situation, and they're always discussing about if you can trust or not the talking about the situation with the W0 unit and what's the plan for that, and training the pilots as well. So it's kind of cool. And then speaking of that, once they're done talking, we see Ryu, Aino, and Ryu, Aino, and Yukiya. My bad. They're all talking, and what's interesting about this scene is they mentioned their training they're going through, and it's good foreshadowing because they did this thing where they're all like spinning really quickly, and I think Aino threw up. And what's important about that is because they're going to space, by the way, in this episode, and they don't know that at this time, but the people running the organization do, obviously. And so I think it's really cool that they're training them to go into space, and they're training them to use the Alexanders, and you see how they are basically discussing it. I think it's a nice little. You don't see the training, which is a disappointing, but at least they're discussing how they're able to do this stuff. Because a lot of times in stories, you don't really, you're told something, but you don't see it, and which is kind of here as well. But at least it's not like instant. Like you don't see them join the W0 unit one day, and the next they're like piling Alexanders. Like it's no one's business. Here it's like, okay, they're going through training, they're talking about it, and then a couple like days later, we're going to see them actually use the Alexanders, which is kind of cool. But again, I like the foreshadowing with how they're going to be going to space, and they're training to be able to go into space with the spinner. And again, she gets motion sickness, which is important. It never comes up in the story, but I do like how they mention it. They found a crack, by the way, because they know how like there's no mice anywhere because there's a cat that kills all the mice, and so they figure out that's a good way to escape. Apparently, some kind of secret passageway in Castle Weisenwolf. And what's funny is that no one even knows it exists. Like the people who actually run this place, which is again kind of funny, but they figure it out. Here we're at a party honoring honoring what's it called Shin becoming the head of Or Michael. This guy, by the way, has the same hairdo as me, which is kind of cool. This guy is kind of close though. Here's Shin's adopted mother, who, like in typical Code Geass fashion, they gotta make all the women who are mothers in the story. Well, I'm not gonna use the term, but I'm not gonna use the term, but you know what they call them. She looks very similar to Marianne, actually. I'm not gonna look at her. Obviously, the hair is shorter, but like the same type of face and build. Definitely was not an accident. Then we see Shin with Alicia, his adoptive younger daughter, and he doesn't want her going anywhere because he doesn't know anybody, and Shin unfortunately has to go to meetings or Michael, and that kind of upsets her. Also kind of sad what happens to both of these people in the story, but I guess for now we just enjoy the fact that Shin is he's being a decent brother. But there's one part where I don't have the image, but when he's talking to her, he's like, "I can't do this." And then you see like it shows like a 2-second scene of him smiling very viciously. And I like how he does this in the story, and so does Akito. They both have these moments where they're talking to somebody, and then for like a split second, their faces shows like this really like they're saying one thing, but they really don't mean it with their actual facial expression. It's a good little way to show how they clearly are brothers and they act similar. Nice little small touch there. We see Junro watching Shin from the background because, well, she loves him, and again, like I said, he doesn't really care, and he insults and degrades her all the time. But I guess I think she has some kind of loyalty to him because he saved her, and she's fascinated with him as well. Yeah, again, because she loves him. Meanwhile, back in Castle Weisenwolf, Layla's again working late, and then she gets the news from Klaus what the plan is, and she's like, "Whoa, we got something going on here." And I believe on her desk, I guess it's not here, but you can see the sword that was taken from Aino. So the plan basically is they want to go and help out the EU forces in Warsaw, I believe, and the plan is to go in the behind enemy lines to kind of disrupt it, so they'll, I guess, retreat, allowing their force to take over. And like everything else, they're doing this because they want the Japanese to take the hits for the EU soldiers, which Layla is pissed off about because, again, that's something that she doesn't like doing. Sacrificing people. That's why, like, that was the problem at the beginning of the story when the other guy, I forgot his name, who was taking over or who led the organization, didn't care they were sacrificing 11s as suicide bombers. but Layla's clearly not that same type of person. So we had this little issue. And Klaus is like, okay, well, let me get this straight. You don't want your soldiers to die, but they have to go in there and help EU soldiers. So you got a lot of work to do. Now, Klaus is, I think he's still kind of racist because he uses the term 11s. Of course, everyone does in this story, so I don't know if he is or not, but I don't know. It's weird. I think Klaus is a good guy, but he can sometimes be a little savage. I'm not sure if he's being overly aggressive to Layla on purpose or that's just how he deals with people. Either way, she's in a pickle because she has to get the troops to. She has to get them alive, back alive, while also serving as decoys, which usually doesn't work too well historically with decoys. Later on that day, actually the next day, Layla calls Akito to have a tea, I guess a tea party. And she goes, "Thanks for coming." And he's like, "Look, you told me to be here. Don't let's skip the formality." And she's going, "Yeah, I guess you're right." Again, showing how Akito is very um, stoic, emotionless, angry, full of revenge and hate. Yeah, he's just not really the best person to hang out with. But Layla wants to fix him, as some girls like to do with guys. So anyhow, they offer tea, and she asks him about like, "Hey, do you what do you think about those kids?" Because that's basically what he thought she was going to talk about, and she's like, "Yeah, what do you think about them?" And he said basically, they don't want to do this, and you want to believe that they will go along with your plan even though they don't want to. And she's like, "Yeah, but if they don't do that, they'll be in trouble." And he goes, "Is that because they're criminals or 11s?" And she's like, "No, that's not what I meant." And then he said, "Well, just be honest. It doesn't matter what the case may be. Just watch your back." Again, Akito doesn't see Layla different from other people at this point. It's the same as any other Britannian or Euro Britannian, whatever term you want to use. Basically, someone who looks down on Japanese people as criminals and can't be trusted. So Akito obviously will defend her because that's his job, but he's just letting her know, like, clearly clearly you have some issues, and just so you know, Ryu, Aino, and Yukiya, they're not going to cooperate with you. Okay, so don't act like they're going to because they're not going to. Just keep that in mind. Watch your back. Later that night, we see Layla with this gigantic bed. Oh my god! Okay, there it is. See the sword right there? That's Ayano's sword, and she has it on her table. Look at this bed, though. Oh my god. Anyway, she's on this nice, comfortable bed and trying to contemplate what to do with her cat Eliza, while Akito again gets off from his bed and stares at the wall. Okay, he's still thinking about what happened. Um, then we see Anna talking to Layla for recap. These two were childhood friends. They also went to the same school, I believe, so they are very close to each other and have the same hair length. Not that it matters. Then we see two girls talking. These are scientists, programmers. They're working on the data on advancing Alexanders, and through Akito's data, they actually made new versions of them, which are going to help in this mission. The variant versions of them. And here's like an example of it. And what's so cool, they show you it transform from I guess insect mode to warrior mode, battle mode. I originally called it beast mode because I like beast wars, but it's the same overall concept. Anna in the Charter division, she's also quite young for her age. She's basically a genius, kind of like Nina, but instead of weaponry and like splitting atoms, Anna is a genius when it comes to making nightmare frames. It'd been really cool if there was some kind of collaboration between her, Cecile, Lloyd, and Sophie. That'd be so cool if they all collaborate on something. Can you imagine it'd be the most powerful nightmare frame? They technically did collaborate a little bit because Monica's nightmare frame is based on an Alexander, but I don't believe Anna helped with the production. They simply took a broken Alexander and made the Florence, I believe is what the name of that nightmare frame was, which is cool. Anyways, back in the back where Yukiya, Aino, and Ryu are hanging out, Yukiya is like, "Okay, I got it going," and they basically create this system where they're looping the whole the security footage over and over again. And when Hamo comes in and asks what's going on, they go, "Everything is cool," which it isn't, obviously. Meanwhile, Anna and Layla are talking about stuff, and she's telling her, "You got to calm down, relax a little bit." And then, of course, she sees that Eliza's on the ledge, which freaks out Layla, so she goes to help her out. Meanwhile, we see the all of them walking around. There's Aino walking around. Again, he mentions how he messed with the camera footage. Reuse mouth. He's so juvenile. So when Layla sees Aino walking around, she's kind of confused as to how she got out of her room. but also is like, where'd she go? And she found a secret passageway, the same passageway they found earlier in the episode. That's how they're able to get around. And that's how also Eliza gets around too, killing all the mice. So Layla walks into this little corner, but it actually turns out to be like a whole big passageway that's big, tall enough you can actually stand up and walk through. Then Akito goes into the room and finds Yukiya. And Yukiya tells him, listen, dude, how do I put this? You guys are never going to let us go, right? So I'm going to kill you, sacrifice myself, I don't care, and everyone else gets to go free. And then Yukiya's like, but before we die, though, you want to know I got these scars? They take away from the Dark Knight. They had to, because he's like, you see my hand here? You know, like, you want to know how I got these scars? And Yuki's like, no, Akito's like, I don't really care, dude. But he tells him anyways. But before we get to that story, one quick thing here. Ryu's just running. He finds these pods, which are they are the passenger seats for the Alexanders, and he figures it must be some nightmare frames down the road here, or the cave, so he heads down there. Okay, so back to Yuki's backstory. Long time ago, he was in a ghetto for Japanese people. He was picked on. Some guy stabbed his hand, and so he killed all of them. It kind of reminds me of, this is a strange comparison, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! The 4th series with the Orichalcos, what happened was, I think his name was Valen? He's the guy who duels Joey and My Valentine. Anyways, he also was in a ghetto, in like a correction center, and he used Orichalcos to steal people's souls away. Anywho, so Yuki explains his backstory. Meanwhile, while he's doing this, Akito thinks about this image with the skull and the Gias, which again is good foreshadowing, because that's how Shin got his Gias power. I'm not sure who the people are in this particular image. I've always wondered, actually. Could have been his parent, who the heck knows. And this is, by the way, another part of Yuki's backstory. So when he escapes from that place, he finds a group of people. Ryu was one of them, and Aino as well, and they became his family. Unfortunately, from what I understand, everyone died except for Ryu and Aino, hence why there's only 3 of them now. And so that's the basic premise. He's concerned that, again, they're all going to die. Akito said, well, you know what? I'm still here. And he goes, that's a good point. And he also said, you know what? You don't know until we try. And he also mentioned, like, it's 3 of you against me, right? Good point. So he agrees to follow him. He admires how Akito's a really strange person. Anyways, Aino gets out, and she's almost free. But then Layla finds her and said, what's going on? And she's like, you want to use this for battle? You don't care. And she goes, that's not true. I'm going to come with you, so you all come back safely. Which I love this part about Layla. This actually reminds me of Lelouch, basically, because Lelouch he always fought on the front line. I will say never. No, he always did. Lelouch always fought on the front lines, always put himself in danger. It's one of the reasons why you can respect him as a leader. The same with Cornelia as well. Someone who doesn't just talk the talk, but walks the walk. And for Layla, in all like defense of her, like, she has no choice in the matter. One, they don't have enough troops, and 2, they don't respect or trust her. So this is the only way I can think of how she could get them, accomplish both of those issues, or solve both of those issues. Meanwhile, Ryu is still running down. He's exhausted because, again, it's an endless pathway to get to the Apollo's chariot, and Leia's headed over there herself, which is what Klaus mentions, like, there's some weird activity going on in there, so she's dealing with it. She said you'll talk to him later. When Ryu gets there, he sees a gigantic ship, which is, again, Apollo's chariot, and each of these little pods here have nightmare frames. So he sees Leia, who comes in by motorcycle, and he goes, I get it. You're going to launch into space or something. And she goes, yes, I'm going to come with you. And by the way, I love this image of Layla here. It's so well done. There's like good, it's almost perfection. There's like, not just her expression is good here, but the outfit, the shading and coloring. I don't know what it is about this particular scene of her, but I paused and looked at it. I was like, this is really well drawn. I was kind of enamored by it. I think I mentioned before, like, my the most beautiful characters in Code Geass. Like, when I look at Layla, I don't know what it is, but like, her eyes are very they're very hypnotizing. Anywho, so Ryu's like, you're gonna come with us? He just starts laughing. I love this. He's laughing hysterically, and she's looking at him with a serious face, and he goes like, it's your funeral, honey. He can't really believe she's gonna do this because she has literally no experience in combat, which is funny. But I just love how he's like, you come with us? Wow. I guess it would be a joke. I mean, she does have combat, like, hand to hand, because she knows Akito, but like, She has no Nightmare Frame experience or being on the battlefield, which is actually what happened here too, because she's like, I know was saying, it's so easier to say that, but would you come with us in the battlefield? And she goes, I will be there with you. So, again, the whole theme of this, just really awesome stuff. Meanwhile, back on a train, we see Suzaku, and they tell him, by the way, we'll be arriving soon. Obviously, he's not 7 at this point because of the outfit he's wearing. And Lucia's like, please, give me some water. And here's the part of the story I'm not a fan of. I don't hate Lelouch, but he didn't have to be in the story. It was so forced. We don't need Julius Kingsley in here. It also kind of retcons or contradicts previous stuff in the story, but whatever. We got to have it in here, and that face. When you have to help your best friend who betrayed you and killed your, I guess, your future fiance. Good stuff. Not really. Meanwhile, so we have all the so here's what's going on here. Basically, they're preparing to get all the shell ready to go, and I believe in this part here, they're discussing how there's going to be a plan to help the EU soldiers escape, and the W0 unit is going to send Apollo's chariot to where they're located in Warsaw to essentially help with the evacuation. That's the whole plan there. And they also mentioned too, of course, hey, it doesn't work, then we know who to blame. Good stuff. Not really. So they're getting everyone synced, of course, for the mission. A lot of stuff going on here because you got to get everyone's minds ready to work together with the sync rates, which is another thing too, by the way. And they bring up in the story how Ryu, Aino, and Yuki, I mentioned earlier, but I'll say it again, they had good sync rates with the Alexanders, which is another way of how Kokias has been influenced by Evangelion, because not just be able to use the Nightmare Frame, but there's a little bit of like a little bit where you guys sync up with the Nightmare Frame, which explains how Akito is able to cause a brain raid, because they're all kind of linked up to this mental, I guess it's some kind of connection device. I don't know the exact term for it. Anywho, so we see the ship falling off. We get like the best scene in the anime. I'm just kidding, but like I have to. Here's the thing about this scene, right? I don't have the whole thing of it. There's one particular image, you guys know what I'm talking about. But when you see Layla changing, they basically don't leave anything to the imagination, except for like one part. But like, let's be honest, it doesn't really matter. I will say though, for a Code Geass story, until this scene, there's like no fan service whatsoever. I'm not saying you can't have fan service. I'm not saying it ruins the story. I just find it interesting that until this one scene, there's absolutely no fan service. In fact, once they get out of their I should say, once they get into their Nightmare Frame pilot uniforms, which is these things right here, it's like fan service until the end. But it's just strange how, and again, this is kind of a weird, I guess, tangent to go on, but I do find it interesting how, excuse me, I find it interesting how like certain characters, like I know, if you look at her early on, she's kind of like, I don't know, average looking, whatever. But then once she puts the suit on, they like emphasize everything. I don't know. It's kind of annoying to me how they. Oh man, it's kind of annoying how they did that with the design. I should have kept it consistent. But anyway, we see Leia putting on her uniform. Let me drink some water here. I can't. I don't know how people do it. These people stream for hours and their voice stays consistently good. I don't get it. Me though, I can't after like 30 minutes or so, I just can't do it. Okay, so the only thing positive about this scene, unless you're like staring at Layla, which is I guess a positive, but you learn something very important about these Nightmare Frame suits, which I thought was the case, the pilot uniforms, and that is when you wear them, you don't need underwear because it literally covers your entire body. Because when you see Layla put this on, for better or for worse, they make it very obvious there's nothing under this suit. Which I thought was the case, but I guess it clarified. This thing has support for every part of your body, I guess. Which is kind of cool. And they do show that to you. Again, they were not subtle about it, though. So she gets on there. We see Ryu getting on there. Akito the whole time. I love this. They're all going to space, right? Which is, first of all, they all can burn up an entry, which is terrifying as is. But, oh, man. Excuse me. It's already terrifying they go into space. But Akito is so stoic the entire time. It's almost as if he doesn't care either way. and then all the pods are being sent off to the spaceship to be loaded up into the Apollo's chariot. Okay, I got ahead of myself. This is the scene where the EU soldier are like, oh, they're gonna come help us out and stuff, and they're like, yep. Well, if it fails, we'll blame it on them. So loads all them up, and again, Akito just doesn't really care. I love that. Yuki is also disturbingly calm as well. So here's the plan to go. They're going over, like, basically you see them like about to go into the Apollo's chariot, and then it goes, okay, by the way, here was the plan they came up with, in case you're wondering. They're gonna go behind enemy lines with the of Apollo's chariot, and by doing that, they will cause some disruption with the enemy forces, which will cause them to retreat. As I said before in my review, and I'll state it again here, I have no clue what they did to cause this to happen, but apparently it did. Anywho, Ryu's like, yeah, this is great. We're going to die. And if we don't die from battle, we'll die by, planetary entry. And Kyle's like, don't be like that. We'll be okay because Layla will be joining them. And I was like, no, you can't do that. And Layla's like, I have no choice. I don't really care about her. It's kind of sweet, actually. And then when they agreed to do it, you see Akito's face. And again, I mentioned earlier how when Shin was talking to Alicia, I think her name was Alicia, whatever it was, he made this weird expression, like this sick grin. And when Ayano looked at Akito, he made the same one in regards to Layla coming, or hearing Layla's coming with them. And Ayano's like, he made that weird expression. Also, I forgot to mention this in my review, but the Nightmare Frames, the Alexander, they have like a visual HUD like this. And as far as I know, you don't see that at any time in R2. So I don't know if it's a retcon or not, or maybe just that this particular type of Nightmare Frame has this type of visual HUD, and Nightmare Frames in R2 didn't, considering this takes place before that does. Now, I believe in Resurrection, the Nightmare Frames do have a more advanced HUD, but they didn't have it in R2, so it's one of those things where it's like the prequel has more advanced stuff than the actual story because it was made after it. Anywho, they're all preparing to launch again. Akito, stoic as whatever, and obviously I'd be very nervous because this thing could easily explode. And again, planetary entry is terrifying, but it launches into the air. And I will say that this whole sequence, from basically the entire sequence of them getting into the Apollo's chariot and launching into space, is probably the best in the entire OVA. It's my favorite sequence. It's so beautifully rendered out, animation wise, and even though it's mostly CGI, it just looks really gorgeous. Like, look at this. It's so beautiful. And I like how there's no sound in space, so when they're traveling, you don't hear anything. You only hear stuff when they're communicating or deactivating or detaching the rockets, or when they're inside the Nightmare Frames themselves, like these pods here. But while they're in space, it's just pure quiet. It's really good stuff. It's why I made the image this. I actually love this scene. I like how Ryu is like, if this is the last thing we see, it could be a lot worse. And then Yukiya's like, everyone's so tiny down there, I can always crush them. And Ayano is like, oh, it's so beautiful. And again, I like how they all have different perspectives on, basically their personalities reflect how they would respond to this. Ryu is like, okay, this is the worst thing ever happened. Yukiya's like, I want to destroy everyone. And Ayano's like, oh, it's beautiful. Kind of more of a friendly way. I don't have the image of Akito, but he's just like, I don't care. He's so stoic. It's funny. So that they're launching over, prepared to go into enemy lines. Then we see the Ashley Astro Force. And they're a really cool group of people. They work under Ashley, obviously, hence the name. Ashley's really bored, so he plays Russian roulette with himself. He's like, Johans, how do you survive the battlefield? Skill, sir? No, it's luck. Obviously, it's luck. He points the gun at his head, and he's like, you see the expression of his face. It's hilarious. He's going like, he actually is like a little scared for 2 seconds when he pulls the bullet or the trigger. He has one bullet in the gun, and of course, it doesn't actually hit him in the head. The gun actually reminds you of the same one from Dirty Harry, as is the lines as well. Then Junro comes in. She's like, what are you doing, Ashley Asura? Oh, Junro. Let's see how lucky you are. And of course, she's just, oh my God. She just stands there. He points a gun at her, and he could theoretically kill her, right? Because there's one bullet in the gun. But when he pulls the trigger, it's not the bullet's not in that chamber, and so she doesn't die. And everyone's like, whew. And she's like, he says like, oh, I see you got luck too. And she goes, now you're done playing games. Shin wants to talk to you. He's like, oh, thank God, finally get some action done. Because he's so bored. As he said before, like he's like, I'm so bored. I want to see action. And Klaus like, okay, we're almost there. And you see Apollo Cherry, it's detaching the different, I guess they're saucers. I'm not sure what they're called, capsules, whatever. Everyone's preparing to go into to launch into the atmosphere. And again, I love how or into the atmosphere, for re-entry. Akio again, very stoic. And it's so cool. The Alexanders, they launch out. We see this little gliding system. Again, it's just really cool stuff. I absolutely love this whole thing from beginning to end. Again, this cool HUD that we're looking at. Kind of reminds me of ODST from Halo, where they were being launched. Orbital dropship troopers. I think what they're called. ODST from Halo. It's so cool. If you ever play that game or you haven't, you should. It's awesome. So they all land on the ground. And unfortunately, Layla gets off course because, that's how life goes. Things never go the way you want. And she gets smashed into the trees. She still able to reconnect with all her troops. And then before she gets a chance to settle in, Akito tackles her because they're being attacked by Ryu and Yukiya and Aino. Basically, it's friendly fire. And they're like, what's going on here? I think it's friendly fire. And like, of course. Yukiya has a sniper rifle, which I guess makes sense. I never thought he was a... Oh, man. This isn't my day. Okay. Where the heck was I? So, Yuki is like, oh, it'd be a shame to kill him here. And Ryu's like, you must do it anyways. It's a bunch of... They're basically going back and forth, attacking each other. But the reason why they stop is because they get ambushed by the cannons. And we don't have an image here, but basically... Oh, I do actually, right here. They have these really cool cannons that fire from mass distances, which are being used against the W0 unit, which is cool. But what I was wondering is, it would have been really awesome if this was used in the original series, especially in R2, because this is a massive scale battle. And these things fire, I assume, serious distance, maybe several kilometers. I mean, look at this. It's awesome. It kind of reminds me of Mech Assault. One of the missions, you had to take out like these orbital cannons. They look just like this, if you guys remember that game. It was one of the... I think it was the first game actually to be released on the Xbox, original Xbox, that had a connection to Xbox Live. Because remember, Halo didn't actually work for Xbox Live, but Mech Assault did. It's one reason why people played it all the time, myself included. Anyways, so because these cannons are firing at them, they have to basically evacuate. Also, side note, I've always wondered why no one ever takes out this balloon. It's literally the reason how they're able to monitor the Alexanders. I mean, can they not detect this device, which also is used in R2 as well? It's how they rescue Lelouch. Anywho, Klaus like, okay. He's kind of confused with what's happening. Oh, he's like, what's going on? And Sophie's like, shut up. He's like, okay, I'll shut up. That was all the time in this in this OVA. He's kind of there. He's directing orders, but he doesn't know anything about the technical stuff. And here we go. More fan service. I'm not going to point out any more times after this, maybe, but this is one thing where these outfits, they have to make like everything obvious. It's not just the girls, by the way, even the guys. There's certain scenes where you like see their butts and chests and stuff. I don't know. This is kind of the trend now Mech has gone into. It seems like Akito is like one example, but I've noticed in so many Mech anime, it's like the characters have to wear really tight outfits, and they have to they have to make them sparkle and stand out. Like these little light shines here and there. Like Heavy Object does it. You Love does it. Schwartz something does it. Like every time I watch a mecha anime, they love to use this style of design. I'm not sure if that's Evangelion's fault, but is what it is. Anyways, so they're finding a bunch of these EU. Looks like these are. I couldn't tell these were actual strange models. They're not the typical EU forces, as if you will. They take them out, and basically they have to. Well, those Sullians, those are typical, but these are not. So they have to take them out, and Ryu tells Akito, "We'll sell this later," and so they move on to battle the forces. They're like, "Yeah, we'll sell this later." So that's what happens here. They're all moving down the field. Meanwhile, the G1 base, Shin's like, "Yep, No, I'm sorry. John rolls like, yep, Shin. They goes to Hannibal as you predicted. He goes, good. I'm gonna go take them out. And they're basically exploring the city, and there's no one there until the astral force attacks them all, starts taking out the different not these guys, but the drones, which are these. Also, again, yep, whatever. And I like how she tells Yukia, like, your idea of fun is messed up. So at least she acknowledged that her best friend's a psychopath, or I guess brother figure, whichever you want to go with. See, again, here, I love how there's this visual HUD. It's really cool. And again, I don't believe R2 had this. So it's one of those situations where, again, the new stuff that takes place before the current stuff has better stuff than the current, which is, I guess, a consequence of prequel situations. Anyhow, when they get into battle, I believe Akito tells her, like, make sure you don't die because the drones are important. But this guy kills a bunch of them, and he's like, "Are these really ghosts of Hannibal?" And of course, they figure out, "Oh, it's drones." They're like, "It's drones." Yep, sure is. And I believe, yep, there's all their forces. They're bowing the different W0 members. This is I know because she has the sword. That's how you know it's hers. Ashley, by the way, is very patiently waiting to get into combat. So he's just like, can't wait to do this. His nightmare frame is really cool too. So they're firing from cover over here, and they're talking about what the strategy is to do at this point. And again, she's not the most efficient pilot, obviously, so she needs to control the drones, and that's about it. And then, so we see Akito's like outside a building, and then Ashley essentially jumps forward with his this is a red ogre, which is kind of cool. And of course, he tells Leia to back off, which is very important because he doesn't want her to die. Because again, they need those drones, which is very important. The fight's actually going fairly well until Akito starts saying die, and when he says die and the Gias power like takes over him, it's the craziest part because his eyes will turn red, right, and he'll be like, right here, this face. He goes like die, and then it affects everyone. Aino, Ryu, Yukia, they all like die, and they're going, what's going on here? Somehow Akito hijacked all of them because apparently the Gias power it's contagious almost. It affects the entire group, which is kind of cool because again, they're all like I said before, they're all kind of linked mentally. It's how they're able to monitor them, and also I think give them like stimulants and stuff. Because I'm pretty sure in the first episode they were giving stimulants to the different pilots, so I believe that's one of the consequences of having them all like linked up like that. Anywho, all the airframe pilots start going like really crazy in the Alexanders because they have like Akito's rage, I guess, guiding them. Oh, this is cool too. You see. Akito, like the Alexander has a little cover for the face and it pops off when he goes crazy, which is cool. So Ryu and Aino, they're just going complete berserk. So does Yukia, but it's a little different because he's not really a close combat guy. He fires from a distance. I love how when Alan Necker is fighting against Ryu, it goes into a church and then like just the combat in Akito Exile is like one of the most it's one of the most like how do I put this? And sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's really bad. Like if you want to show like more intense fights, and CGI can definitely help, but sometimes you can't follow what's happening on screen. And while I love this OVA, sometimes I don't know what the hell's happening here. Here I can kind of tell because it's only 2 Nightmare Frame pilots, but even then it can be a little confusing at times. And again, they're kind of monitoring what's going on because she's like, oh, it's a brain raid. Because again, the whole Akito's Gias powers affect everyone else. We see Yukia taking out one of the pilots here, which is really cool. And I gotta give the guy credit. He shot through a wall. Yuki's a pretty good sniper. He's a pretty good sniper rifle user. I guess a sniper would be the right term. I'm not like into this. I don't honestly know what the right. I think it's a sniper. Yeah, here. What's going on? Don't tell. Leave us alone. I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, I'll stop. Because Sobi's trying to figure out what's happening with all the why this is occurring. And again, Akito's face. What a crazy nut job. And Ash's like, it's not going so well. Meanwhile, Jean is talking about how it's sad they can't stop these different nightmare frames. And Shin Hyuga's such a dick. He's like, can you shut up, John, for like 2 seconds? Look how beautiful these nightmare frames are. She goes, I'm sorry, sir. Like, Joan can't like really express how she feels because Shin just tells her to stop. He's so mean to her. It's just awful. And of course, he realizes, "Ooh, Akito, you're still alive." And this is the best part. Ashley is like, "Oh my god, it's not going well. It's not looking too good because Akito, with his Gyasa power enhancing him, is just too OP to handle." And he goes, "I'm just it's not going. It's just not going well. He won't stop coming at me." Meanwhile, Layla's like, "Will someone respond? Anybody?" And of course, they're all like, they can't because they're under Akito. He's basically controlling all four of them, which is really crazy. And again, John's trying to figure out, not John, Sophie's trying to figure out what's going on here. And that's one of the puzzles that Akito takes out. He also takes out Franz right here. Kage's saying die. But Ashley jumps in and goes, "We weren't finished yet." And they keep battling up. They keep battling throughout this incursion. Now, what's kind of funny, I didn't realize that, look at that. He smashed him into a wall. Akito's an animal. But I didn't realize that the Alexanders don't use slash Harkins. I forgot about that. I'm not sure how I forgot about that, but they don't use slash Harkin, which is kind of cool because they don't have to, right? Because they climb up walls, so they wouldn't need a slash Harkin. Anyways, so it's not going well for Ashley. In fact, he's about to get killed until Johannes, or is it Johan? I forget his name. He takes the blow for him, which is really sad, actually. And this death, by the way, is what motivates Ashley to keep fighting harder because he lost his subordinate, who he didn't make fun of, but deep down he cares about his troops. So this really bothered him. And even Akito too, he actually stopped middle combat. Meanwhile, we see Aino and other people. They're thinking about, they're seeing the whole flashback of when he received Gias from Shin to kill himself, and then she throws up. And again, I like that because they mentioned before that Aino gets sick really easily. Like she's motion sickness bothers her. So I'm glad they brought it up, and then it came up in some level, which is cool. Not in the way I was expecting it, I should point out, but still. And of course, I think she realized, oh, it stopped. This expression was kind of funny. And because Akito's Gias is no longer affecting all their pilots, they essentially lose. They run out of their they skip their nightmare frames as they're destroyed. So we see Yukia, Ryu, and they all just run out. And then we see the beautiful Vercingetorix in combat. Look how cool this thing is. It's like a big center, and with two swings of the strangest axe I've ever seen, with just a bunch of gears and a blade, he destroys the Alexander. Yeah. He also tells Ashley to pull back. And he takes Johannes and goes. It's too bad he's dead, but yes, he right there, they flee. And then he tells him, "Come out there, Akito." And of course he does, and they're all like, "What's going on?" And apparently, they're brothers, and like, wait, they're brothers. But he's like, "Come join me. I want you to die for me, Akito." And then, Layla's confused, like, why they would do that, because again, they're brothers. And then Ryu comes in there and he fires at him, which was kind of weird. Wait, hold on. Did I miss a bunch of... Okay, I don't have the images. Anyways, so Ryu comes in there. He fires at Shin Hyuga right here. And he's like, "Oh, that's so rude. Interfering on the reunion of brothers. What is wrong with you?" And then he tell him, "Oh, by the way, we're retreating." He goes, "We're retreating? Fine, whatever. We'll have to do this another time." And then before he leaves, this is so mean. Jean Roll's like, "I'll cover you, Shin." And he's like, "John, I don't have time for your jokes." It was like, whoa, dude, come on. And you know what the funny part is? Even as he escapes, right? I don't have the image here, or maybe I do, but Jean is still protecting him. It's like, God, she's such a masochist. I don't know. It's weird. It's like both Jean and Layla love Akito and Shin at this time in the story, but they're both such vicious, angry people. At least Akito's more respectful than Shin, but they're both like, yeah, they're both awful people this time. And then, of course, for no explicit reason, the forces retreat and they succeed. How this happened, I still don't know. Anyhow, Sophie goes downstairs and apparently she sees her husband, who discovered all this technology that's helping them out. And there's like pictures of when they got married. And again, it subtly tells you, but I guess also literally tells you too about why these two are close. It's a nice little aspect to her character, I shouldn't say a nice aspect. It's more like another way they show the backstories of these characters. Like Klaus has an issue with his marriage and or lack thereof, I guess now. And Sophie's husband's in a coma, and they're keeping him safe until one day they'll wake him up. One day, I hope, anyways. Klaus is again. He's drinking, and there we go. There's the picture I was talking about earlier. See, his daughter, and then his wife. He covered up. We don't know why exactly. And then we see Pendragon and Vladivostok, I believe that's the way to pronounce it. They're in St. Petersburg, and Julius Kingsley comes out for Suzaku's met up. Now, one thing I noted, and maybe this is just me, but how come they're not just disrespectful to Suzaku? Now, you're probably wondering what I mean. Well, he is technically a Japanese, and the EU doesn't respect Japanese people, neither does the Euro Britannians. Now, you might be thinking, okay, he's not a realm member, so who cares? They would have to respect him. But if I'm not mistaken, in Gurren and Lancelot, I mean, excuse me, Lancelot and Gurren, when Suzaku went to the, I believe it was EU or maybe it was the homeland, I forgot which. I haven't read the manga in a while, but when he was going on, he was working with different members of Britannia forces, and they were being very racist towards him. So I'm just surprised that he didn't receive the same treatment when he arrived here. It doesn't matter, just a random thing I noticed. Then we see Julius Kingsley emerge. He's like, where is this? The people should be lined the streets. No one's here to greet me. I'll allow it this time, but next time it will not go well. They also know this transport is for the royal family only. It's a big train for a royal transport just for the royal family. And yeah, that's why Julius Kingsley's on there. Now we see after the battle's over, these troops are talking about, oh my god, the front lines are scary, Yeah, we almost could die, and we'll stay in the back, which is how it should be, I guess, for them, because they're a bunch of cowards. This little area here is a bunch of soldiers hanging out with their girlfriends or just by themselves. Here's an example of set to thing. Ayano is angry that they were used for battle. Again, I still think it's because of the sword situation. Like a bunch of idiots, and Yuki is like, yeah, but we won and we succeeded. So what's the problem? You also sound like Akito as well. Also, I think it's obvious why this scene exists, and this one too. Anywho, Ryu's actually thinking about how Akito's brother is Shin Hyuga, and then when Leia comes out, she mentions how everything went well and everything's good to go. While they're talking, by the way, there's some girls who pass by. It's kind of cute. I don't think I have the image here, but they're staring at them like, ooh, this is happening. And I don't have the image as well, but when they're talking, she says, was that your brother? And he goes, he's a complete stranger to me. I haven't seen him in years. And she's like, well, yeah, but you don't want to kill him, right? And he goes like, I almost died once. And this time, I'm going to pay him back one. Oh my God. Akito's face is so freaking messed up. It occurred to me when I was watching this episode again that Layla's relationship to Akito is that she saves him from himself. Akito is so filled with rage and hate, and he has no care what happens to him. And Layla's trying to make him feel like he does matter in this world and how she'll be there for him. It's important because later on in the next OVA, he tells her like he should have died, and she told him, I'm glad you didn't die, which is an important part of their relationship. But here, Akito clearly doesn't care anymore. He's like, I'm going to kill my brother because he almost killed me. And that's how the OVA ends. We see some images again, like before, good picture drama stuff. There's Shin and Akito. I like that one. This is them being healed by the W0 member units. After their mission's over. Let's see what else. Akito catching Layla, which is very cute. And then we see Shin Hyuga looking at Ashley with the wolf, which I assume is what that's from. And then at the very end, we see a couple images from the episode coming up, and these are not actually in the episode. Like, they're sort of there. Like, here's this, you can't see it, but this is Layla in the red dress, Akito in the dress he wears, not dress, outfit he wears when they dance, and then we see the Lancelot fighting the Order of Michael. And that's how it ends. I think I have some bonus images in the beginning of this, which I thought were interesting. Let's see if I can find those. Let's see. Almost there. Okay. A lot of coughing today. I don't know what's going on with me. Okay. Yeah, these are the order of I'm not sure. Is it Gabrielle and something, whatever. So those are them. Those are leaders. That's all them walking out together. This is her. This is a Layla after she puts on the very tight fitting gear. Here's where you talk about how like yeah again it's the last thing we ever see. It'd be great. Ashley talking about how like luck is the only thing that matters in the battlefield. There's the entire astral force. There's him saying, "Do you feel lucky? You feel lunky? No, lucky." This is when Layla blushes when Akito tells him to, make sure you don't die. There's Aino fighting with the sword. Aino saying die because, again, the Gias affected her. Same with Yukiya. That's not getting hands off. I think his name is John something. And then you see the two nightmare frames, which I don't know why they didn't have CGI. They had this way the whole time because this looks so much nicer than the CGI, but whatever. There's Akito fighting against Ashley. There's Yukiya firing at Ashley, and yeah, I believe that's Franz's arm getting cut off, and then yeah, it's just some nightmare frame battles, and yeah, that's the situation there. Let me read some comments really quick, and then not comment. Let me read my notes. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see if I missed anything. I don't think I missed anything. I don't see anything else. Yukiya told Ayano to sleep, and if she dies peacefully in her sleep. Why did he tell her that? It was so weird. He's a kind of strange man. Another thing too, because we're seeing this whole conflict. Let me. Wait, was that Yeah, Sophie. I think that's her husband. I don't know, or was her husband before he went to a coma. Anyways, man, I want a Sophie Rakshata collaboration in the story at some point. Like they should do that. Just make them collab. And Anna meets Nina, and they also collab too. Anna's like a nicer version of Nina. So, anyways, during this battle, I made note like how it's such a large scale incursion. It would been so cool if they make an RTS Code Geass game, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If they want to make a good Code Geass video game, don't make these stupid gotcha games. Don't make these like retelling stories like Lost Stories or Lost Colors. Just make an RTS game for crying out loud. Where you command different heroes from different factions, and they fight on these large scale battles. You can command different nightmare frames, and that's all I really want to see. And I think that's what the fans really want. If I was a good programmer or worked for a game company, I'd love to work on something like that, where take some RTS and just change the colors or something. I don't know, or the models or something. It'd be kind of cool. But whatever is what it is. Do you guys like the jazz music in this story? A lot of jazz during the battles. I have like mixed feelings about it. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't. So there's that. Let's see. Yeah, there's certain there's certain scenes like okay, yeah, okay. So that's the whole story or episode for nutshell. Really good stuff. I'm still confused exactly what they did to help out when the force retreated. I'm not sure like what they did specifically that helped out, but it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of the fan service that happens in the episode, especially when you look at the characters like this, where it's like, okay, this outfit is pretty relatively, I guess you say modest, or it doesn't show you anything. But when they put on the outfits, like the Nightmare Frame pilot outfits, and last time I'm gonna make note of this, it's like night and day. Like, how does that happen? I guess because they're baggy clothing, but still, like, I don't know. I've always like had mixed feelings about this decision, this style choice for Nightmare Frame or mechas in general. I never understood. I know why they do it. I just don't know. I know why they do it. I just wish they wouldn't. There we go. That's what I meant to say. I got the words out. And speaking of that, let's look at One, I'll throw which image? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna throw that one out there. We'll do the last one where Akito and Layla are talking to each other. Let's get to that real quick. Hopefully, you guys didn't get sick from staring at that so long. Actually, you know, this will be the one we'll look at. Okay, where are the comments from the very beginning? I don't know if it's just me, but even Akito's the title character and protagonist Layla sometimes feels like the main character. It's hard to say because at one end it's about Layla and her leading the W0 unit to helping the Euro Britannians defeat the EU defeating Euro Britannians. I keep mixing those up. At the same time, though, it's also Akito's story and how his redemption and willingness to live life, even though given what happened to him, he has no reason to, and how he goes from someone who has complete rage and hatred for the world and his brother to someone who actually wants to live and be somewhat kind in his life. Given everything that's happened, it's hard for him to want to do that, and it makes sense why he wouldn't. But that's like his transformation. Yeah, I would say they're both protagonists of the story. To say like who's it really about between the two of them, it's a little it's not clear. Um, a verse that controls wings already exists. It's called the Regalia. It comes in the old DS game. Really? I'm gonna look it up right now. Regalia. Let's see. Let's see. Code Geass. Oh, all right. There you go. Let's look at this in R2. That's really cool. What I think the seventh generation Nightmare frame looks like. That's really cool. If you guys want to see what I'm looking at here, I'll throw it right here. Give me a second here. Here it is. That's a cool Nightmare frame. So see, I guess someone else saw the same thing too. That's cool. All right. They are cool. I'm not a fan of the Nightmare frame pilots though. Colin with the Gurren MK Mark II versus the Balfangon Colossa with the A41 Falk. All right, I'm not sure what that is. I probably do, but I might know of the mecha. I just don't know what the actual Belfagan. Here it is. It's the first thing that came up. Oh, he's from Full On Panic. I literally forgot about this guy. He trains them in the second season. That's right, I believe. Right? Yeah. Now, was he using in the battle? The A4 Falk. Is that one of the arm slaves? Let's see. Actually, it's say right here what he pilots. Oh, definitely definitely the landslide. The Gurren. There's no the only thing that helps the arm slaves win is the Lando driver. So if the PUDs have a night if the mechas have a nightmare frame, oh my god, what did I just say? Okay, if the arm slave does not have a lambda driver, I don't think it can take on any of the pilots in Code Geass because the power scaling is so ridiculous. What were your thoughts on Stage 26? I love that with V2 becoming the big bad, but it went too fast in the final act, I guess you were saying. I cannot ever imagine Nigel allying with Falush. Stage 26 is pretty cool as a concept. I do agree with those 2 points. Schneidel with Lelouch didn't make any sense. Schneidel supporting. They didn't explain, like, okay, they didn't explain why Nunnally became emperor, like how that happened. Did they brainwash them all? Like, it was very strange. I was willing to believe that maybe, I don't know, maybe there was some Gias use there to make them all, like, go along with it, but they never really explained why. Um, they never really explained why they did that. So I guess we'll go with this one. Um, why that happened. I think the idea is interesting. They just need obviously it was not a complete script, so they couldn't tell you the whole story or give you a nice, well written story. There's some interesting merits to it. They just needed more time to explain certain things. Like what I mentioned, why would Chanel support Lelouch? Why wouldn't he support Nully? You know, stuff like that. You hear not Lelouch though. I don't know about that, but I guess that's one opinion to another. They should spend more time with it. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Imagine Julius dominating, but a prisoner yells out, "Why is he doing this?" And Julius can't find deeper meaning. Gradually realizing he's a fake. Yeah, pretty much. I honestly don't get how Charles Gias works. I get altering small memories, but entire life seems too much. I guess I've never seen the gets too much. What do you mean by that? Oh, for sure. I agree. That fight's awesome, but it just seems like Lelouch takes away from Shin Hyuga, who I think was a good enough villain. Yeah, they obviously want to throw them in there, and yeah, that fight was awesome. I agree, but it could have been better. Maybe if you had 10 OVAs, it might have worked. How do you think things would be different if Smiles tried to liberate Area 11 instead of China? I can see Layla appealing to Zero, but then he doesn't have an ego. I don't know. That would have been kind of interesting because then you bring Shinkai in there too. Would Layla have worked with Zero? I don't know. That's the problem with this story. It kind of works in a vacuum. That's why I kind of would have loved to see. That's why I kind of would love to have seen. What's it call it? Maybe a connection of all the stories. Like the reason why I love the Stage 26 thing a lot is that it had a part where like Layla and Alderaan and Toto responded to learning about that Lelouch became emperor. If you had all those stories interconnected, that would have been kind of cool. So I can't say for sure what would happen. It's possible Layla might appeal to Lelouch, like, but then again, maybe not. Okay, I'll say that with a shower scene. I actually don't mind that shower scene, and the reason why is because it. Yeah, I guess it's like Collins, but you know what it was? It was handled very maturely. When Colin is naked in the shower, it's like it's so high school, it's so juvenile. Like Lucia's like, I could see you naked, right? When John pops out and points a gun at Ashley, he doesn't comment on the fact that she's naked. He doesn't even care. He's just like, oh, hello, John, it's me. It's they handle the fight with or that situation more maturity. With Colin, it was very immature. That's the difference. It's kind of like when Hazaku tackles Colin when she's taking a bath in stage 19. I will admit that was really contrived. But again, both characters didn't really point out the fact that the other one was naked, or they didn't point out the nudity in the situation. They just kind of like acted normal. Same thing with Ashley and John. It was just very a mature scene. Do they have to have a scene with John being naked? No, I don't think so. But still, I see your point. But it's different because and that's a one and done thing, right? Okay, so John is naked in one scene and we move on. These outfits are on these characters for the rest of the story, for the most part. So, I don't know how I feel about it. They really skin tight to everybody. It's is what it is. I'm going to be right back. I'll be right back. I will be right back. Okay, we're back, and my camera's died. Okay, so interesting. If I stop my camera and bring it back, it cuts the frame off. Very interesting. I'll keep that in mind going forward. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Love Ashley. Could watch this guy all day. Absolutely agree. Ashley's one of my favorite characters in the story, and I love to see more of him down the road. But we won't. But I'd like to see it though. Right, that's the point. It's a very serious scene. Ashley and John are basically siblings because Shin rescued both when they were younger. That's why, again, it's a little different. Oh, I meant like Britannia using it against them, but true. Yeah, could have all been dead, right? That went crazy. Yeah, there's definitely some good parts there, but like there's also parts that are kind of like hard to follow. It's like Transformers almost, if you guys have seen those films, but a little easier to follow than that. But that's how I always thought about it. That's a practical reason, true. Yeah, the versing Kedrok is awesome. Or Getarex. Yeah, it's a centaur. It's so awesome. I like the Nightmare and Akito. They don't go down in one hit, and the puts actually put a fight. Unlike in the OG series, where Britannians feel like incompetent morons. Yeah, exactly. And it's and the only reason they can accomplish that, at least from this perspective, was the CGI, where the pilots have to take serious damage before they go down in one sitting. Whereas in the OG series, like everyone gets taken down in one sitting. Even when in the next episode where when um, Suzaku fights against the Order of Michael, even though the Sutherlands clearly are weaker than the Lancelot, it still takes several hits to bring them down. It's great. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the Berserk mode's awesome. The whole like die. It's awesome. The scale on frame feels off. They look 2 or 3 times bigger than they should. Yeah, I can see that. It's the camera work and the fast moving pace. I mean, they're not that large, but it's just that the way they're animated, I could definitely see that. Um, Castor and Pollux. Maybe will they show up? Pollux. I think I know what that is. I'm just trying to remember now. That's the uh it's one of the nightmare frames, right? Wait, who's this? Oh, it's the DS game. Got it. Oh, the Equus. Okay. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I never played this DS game before, by the way. Is this available? Can you actually play this? Let's see something. Let me type that in really quick here. Oh yes. So is it Polix? Can you play this game in the US? Can I get an emulator or something? I'd like to play it. What is this crap? More reaction channels? Motherfuckers. Excuse me. Hey YouTube, this is Rhapsody. I'm making. I swear, everyone milks Kogias to the very end. It's so sickening. What channel is this? React City. They started last week. Oh my god, these mother chuckers. Anyways, I should stop hating on other people. What was I doing before? Right, I was gonna look at not that. I was gonna look at the story. I hate reaction channels so goddamn much. I really do. They offer almost nothing of like it's so depressing. They offer nothing of actual substance to a story. They just go, "Oh wow, action! Oh, didn't see that one coming. Oh my god, that guy's gone. Oh, I knew he was no good. You know, it's so stupid. Oh, oh my god. Okay, enough. I'll So it looks like the DS game came out in Japan. Is there a way I can play it in the US with some kind of subtitle? It looks really cool. Actually, it looks really awesome. I'll look into it. All right. Let's um let's continue on here. I got sidetracked, which is okay. I think Johanna's death had an impact on Ashley. The writers could have written Ashley off as some arrogant asshole, but it gave him Cornelius' trait of caring for his troops. Yeah, Ashley is very interesting because he kind of acts a little mean to his truth, but yeah, deep down he cares about them for sure. Yeah, uh, Johannes was a yeah, he definitely affected him for sure. He wasn't arrogant. Ashley is a cool guy, one of the best in the story. We'll have to agree, Julius. He looks cool. That's not the problem. His reason, him being in the story, is the problem. I think the reason why Sadako stopped facing racism was to prop up pretend that morally superior and lesser too evil. It's a real flaw in R2. Um, at least in R2, it makes more sense because at that point, it's they've kind of I think because the way he's not around, I guess it kind of works. But yeah, no, you're kind of right. I don't know. It's just weird. But especially Europe. But I'm just confused like why in Europe Britannia they were really nice to him. That's where I'm confused. R2 I kind of get it, and R here I don't. Oh yeah, they definitely are. Fair enough. I guess I can't argue too much about that. Maybe Leia's a fan of Akira. Yeah, that's true. Um, is gonna follow R2 B for B feels like a wasted opportunity. Yeah, of course it is. The whole point of like, yeah, why would it differentiate? They're not gonna. I mean, in defense of the game, not that it matters, but the game is only showing you, showing it. I guess that's not the right way. It's only recapping the events of R2. It's not rewriting them. If you want a rewritten story, they'll have to. Excuse me. They'll have to start from scratch. So yeah, obviously. It's on Funimation's website. I believe it's still there. You can also buy the discs on Blu-ray on Amazon. I'm not sure how much they are right now. They weren't expensive last time I checked, but that was like months ago. So let's see. Let's see. I'll type Akito and see how much it is now. It used to be very cheap. It may not be cheap anymore. Let's see. The Blu-ray is $44. I don't know. Is that expensive? Yeah, kind of. 44 big ones, huh? Jesus. Does that include like the special stuff that comes with it? Let's see. Yeah, it includes like the special pictures you get of the characters. That's kind of cool. But $44 though, I don't know. It's kind of expensive. I think there's special features too, but I'm not. I can't. Don't quote me on that. But there you go. Sakura Wars would serve as a good template for a game dating a sim with RTS, a dating sim with RTS mech fights with your choice, affecting different areas. Sakura Wars, interesting. Is that available to play? Sakura Wars. It's a dating sim war game. What the hell? Only in Japan. Okay. Peace out, dude. Um. Yep, that's true. I think the aristocracy takes over. Yeah, it's funny. That's true because yeah, yeah, because she doesn't like Nunnally, but she was confused why the other two did, and they never explained why Odysseus and Genevieve just support Nunnally for no reason. Oh, Ghost in a Shell, right? Of course. Um, I like the original series more than Akito the Exile overall, but I will say that Akito I think is a better character-driven story, and I also like some of the characters in Akito the Exile over the Code Geass, I guess, versions. Like I like Aino more than Colin. For example, I kind of like Sophie more than Rakshata too, a little bit. I'm trying to other characters I prefer over the others. Other than that, I think they're about equal. Like Akito and Lelouch are very different characters. I don't hate one or like the other better. And now you ask that question. Awesome. Who do you like more, Lelouch Suzaku or Akito and Layla? Very different situations. Very different situations. I don't know. Can I say equal? Because it's very different. Because Layla and Akito are pretty much a team the whole time, and Lucian and Suzaku are fighting each other the whole time. As a team, I think Suzaku and Lucian are more powerful. But in terms of like the emotional bond, I kind of like Akito and Layla more. So there you go. Oh, really? That sucks. I think it's because it's because of just how streaming is very popular and how they're not producing many DVDs as it used to be. I mean, it's really supplies because like I'll give you an example. I bought the Blu-ray thing of the Blu-ray discs of Resurrection when it first came out, and it was like $20. Now it's like 120 because it was limited supply. People don't buy DVDs like they used to anymore, so that's the problem. But I do agree though. Like if you look for DVDs of any anime, I was trying to find some Double O stuff. It was insanely expensive. Double O is expensive. Uh, excuse me. Full Metal Panic expensive. Even random shows you wouldn't think was expensive are or weren't. It's really frustrating. I will say if you're trying to buy DVDs, it's probably the best time to go for it because it seems like they keep shooting up price every year. Yeah, I guess 4 is not too much, but given how it's just 5 episodes, it's a little expensive. Oh, the PS4 is localized. Cool. I believe Schneizel, no, Cornelia, not only Cornelia and Schneizel are the only living royal members left. I think the rest died in the Pendragon. So apparently, I think Catherine is still alive, or I think it's in Catherine. The rest I think are gone though. I think she survived the explosion. So if you look at I'll look it up real quick. Let's see. I keep doing that. I like mobile screen. I keep hitting the button that like extends it outward. It's so frustrating. Anyways, Catherine Code Geass. Speaking of Catherine, right? Well, not Catherine. Carolyn. Yeah, Carolyn. I don't want to say Catherine. Carolyn. I believe she's still alive. So it said in that was disturbing. An Oz reflection. Yeah, she survived the bombing of Pendragon, but I don't think anyone else has survived. I think Odysseus is gone. I think Genevieve is gone. I can check that real quick. Let's see. Uh, Genevieve, Odysseus. Genevieve is dead. I think Odysseus is dead too. It says here it's unknown. Oh, he is dead. Okay, yeah. He died in the explosion, according to the manga, anyways. Yeah, he was a farmer, and he yeah exactly. That's how I know he's gone. It's an alternate universe, but we'll go with it. They are each of these. That's true. Each of the Akito OVAs are like 45 minutes to an hour, but still though, I don't know if it's worth it. Just that's just me though. All right, let's what are we doing? We're doing okay. Let's do some summonings, and that will probably end the stream. But let's start with that. Take care, buddy. Thanks for appearing. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, let's do some summonings. Here's a new character, by the way. We got Shin Hyuga, and we have Tianzi. Why is Tianzi in this game? I don't know, but whatever. Let's go for it. One round. Nothing. Yay. I love nothing. Here we go. Got one level 3, 2 level 3, 3 level 3s, and there's no upgrade. Let's see what we get. Okay, I'm more maxed out on Cecile. There's Futaba. I maxed out a Total Race. I don't need that one. All right, here's Tianzi. I didn't even want her, but whatever. Oh, you mean Lost Colors? Maybe. Really? It's got a full translation? Like official or unofficial? Let me know. There's Tianzi. Valletta. Tamaki. Where's my D-Tard? No, D-Tard. That's. Oh, Toto. I'll take that. I need Toto. And Lux. And that's it. All right. Pretty cool. Let me go and upgrade. Let me do a couple things real quick. What I want to do. Can I get Toto up or Valletta? Nope. Okay, Toto. He's sweet. He's 4 now. Oh, awesome. He's so cool. I almost got him fully maxed out. Almost there. Yeah, they're both maxed out. Ogi. Nope. And Tamaki. Where's Tamaki? We need another... Oh, Granada close. Okay, cool. Yeah, where's D-Tard at, you know? Okay. We'll do a couple co-link summons. I see you too, thank you. Don't smile at me, that's creepy, Archive. No level 4 is weak. Just weak. Okay, we got Nina. Got it. Guilford? Please all be gone. Oh, fudge. I forgot to... shoot, they're all gone. Waste my time. They're all gone. Yeah, they all got sold. But at least I got Rakshata and Yuki. Let me fix that real quick. I just into settings, which I forgot about. This game is so... you gotta be careful about that stuff. Give me a second here. Okay, now let's try it again. She comes to bed. I don't know. The hairstyles in the show are so funny. I don't even know. It's a good question. I have no clue. 2 meatballs and goes to bed. I don't know. Wow, what a bad pull. Alright, I have one of those already, I believe. I have deterred shooting at Lelouch, or terrified to do so, I guess. Charles does have the weirdest hair of all time, I agree. Okay, one of those. The grandmas. Zittle. Jeremiah. Clovis. Tianzi and cool. Not the entire we wanted though. Alright, now I'll do some of these. I didn't summon all last week. I didn't have to do a live stream, so I gotta make up for it. Hopefully something good. Let's see. Okay. Alright, just geeky, I suppose. What's with her voice? That just me? That was really deep. That was really deep. Upgrade? No upgrade. Whatever. Alright, who are we getting level 2s? Valletta. Okay. I maxed her out already, so I don't need that anymore. Ogi. Okay. Ogi. Yugi level. Ooh. Euphemia. Perfect. I'm trying to get more of her. Klaus. Okay. Or maxed out Toto. Klaus. More Klaus. Where's my D-Tard at? Oh, Toto. Perfect. I'll take more Toto. But like, where's my D-Tard? Wow, no D-Tard summoned. This is crazy. No D-Tards. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. All right, again. I'm not leaving until I get a D-Tard summon. This is ridiculous. A travesty. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Nothing? Koi koi. Koi koi. No fours in this one. I mean, no threes in this one, I bet. Oh, upgrade. I was like to say, come on, you bastards. Okay, 2 threes. No, 3 threes. Let's see. First, oh, Ashley. Speaking of the devil. Look at that. Ashley. Love this guy. Valletta, okay. Ogi, okay. Huh, Ryu. Wow, we got a whole Akito theme going on here. Shirley again. Okay, Psycho. Not the worst. Psycho again. Valletta. Guilford and level 3. Okay, Lux. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. No D-Tard. Damn it. Alright. 4 Vallettas. Alright, let's do our guarantee level 4 character. No D-Tard. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, who are we getting today? A new character. Or maybe a duplicate. We'll see. Let's see what we're getting. I didn't even get Kage this whole time, too, for some darn reason. Mother chuckers. Who are we getting? Oh, Alderin. Oh. Alderin? Oh, lame. I don't want Alderin. Mother chuckers. What a terrible summoning. Like, seriously, one of the worst I've ever done. Like, nothing good. Not even D-Tard, you know? We couldn't even get D-Tard. Ugh. That was bad. I can't see any way. That was just the worst. What is this? Order of... Okay, I think it's Order of Cares I got. So, look, I'll upgrade her, but just lame. Whatever. Alderin. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Oh, wrong dude. I think I can get Luke's up next level. So that's good at least, but like... Lux is from Zeal the End. No D-Tards though. Like, really? How are we doing, Yuffie? Yeah. Son of a gun. Unbelievable, you know? I just wanted one D-Tard. I couldn't get that. I pick a little Klaus now up. Yay. Level 3 Klaus. Whatever. I'll try one more thing, actually, before we... I'll try one more different summoning. I just wanted to... Actually, it doesn't really matter. Let's try something else. I've always wanted to do this. I never have. Let's do... So this summoning here, I believe, it gives you a good chance to get a level 10. So I'm going to go for it and see what happens. I've always wanted to try it. So here we go. Okay, that's not bad. Oh god. TV Anywhere R2, there are so many places. I almost would say rewrite the whole thing, but that's kind of mean. Probably the situation with the Chaos Order and the Ranrock connection, that needs a little bit of work. Alright. Okay, I'll take more of Yuffie's boobs in my face. Zeal of the End. It's one of the alternative stories in this game. Yay! Look at that! We got him! D-Tard. Now I can stop summoning. We got D-Tard. That's all I wanted. Somebody have major goals in this game. I just want a D-Tard. Psycho. But only one D-Tard, though. God forbid. Alright, Guilford. Our level 3 is... Oh, Yuffie again. Look at that. Lots of Yuffies. I actually don't disapprove. I need all the Yuffies I can get. Shirley again. And then our last 3 will be Lux. Okay. And I'm done summoning. Well, lots of Yuffies. Again, I totally approve because she's a great character. And thank God, the 5th Valletta. I know, it's disgusting. Let's see. Right now, I have her almost at 100. And one more try to maxed her up. Oh, whatever. It's fine. I can probably sell the extras. Let's see. Does Tamaki? Nope. Lux probably not. I just got her there. D-Tard? Nope. Valletta, definitely. We got to be close with Valletta, yeah. Okay, and then who's next? Guilford? How close are we? Not even close. Okay. Anyone else I miss? Oh, Sayako. Not even close. Okay. 5th Valletta. Yeah, I got a bunch of Vallettas. Like, what the fudge? Ogies? Alright, now let me okay. How are we doing in time? We're actually pretty good. Okay, so let me just skim through a bunch of these battles real quick. And now that I have Tianzi, I want to use her. That was why I waited a little bit today before playing. Get rid of I don't know, for Tianzi. Where is it? Where is it? I think it's this one that does it. Okay. All right. Now we took care of that. I don't know. Some robots in the future or something. Zeodan takes place in the future, and there's like robots or something that hunt down Zeo. So basically, in the plot, there's a character named Zeo. That's this guy here. I'll show you real quick. Where are you, Zeo? Yeah, here. So Zeo, he's being hunted by Lux, which she's over. Where is Lux? She's somewhere here. Yeah, Lux. She's hunting him. That's what I understand about the story, but they haven't told us much. Okay, all right. So I took care of that. I got to do these stupid things real quick here. So I'll do 2 silver books. And then personally, the one I have the least of, which is this one. Okay, and then I have to go and do this. Just getting a bunch of items here. Well, they never give me the thing I want, of course. Yeah, garbage. Okay, that's all of those. Now let's go to here. What was I going for again? Oh, Gigi. I guess that makes sense. We'll sell everything again, since I was not doing that before. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Okay, and then here. Cool. So I got all that taken care of. Let's go to here. I don't think either one does, but to be honest, I don't really know. They haven't revealed the story yet. They got a backlog longer than mine, unfortunately. Okay, took care of that. Now, let's see what we can do for leveling up. I don't even want to level her up, in all honesty. Because if I do that, I'll waste resources, but she will help me get more resources. So it's like, is the juice worth this squeeze? Oh, let's see, go to my threes. Oh, actually, can I level them up? No, okay, I already checked that. I don't know why I checked again. Can I get Yuffie to 100? I can. With nothing to spare. Don't want to even do that. I get Yuffie to 100. What about What about Toto and Shirley? How far can I get Toto? 95. It's not bad. All right, let's. No, I don't care. I'm sticking to course. I had a plan. I'm going to execute the plan. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I don't care. Okay. No, that's done with. Let's go to dual mode. Oh, I'm S rank. Nice. So I didn't even know it was S rank. I wasn't aware. Okay, that's cool. Let's go buy some stuff. Oh, here's a cool part. I can sell off a bunch of stuff to help me out here. So I maxed out with Toto, so I can sell all of hers. So there goes Toto's. I maxed out Shirley, so I can sell all of hers too. Goodbye to that. I maxed out with Cecile, so I can sell all of hers. And I maxed out with Zero, so I can sell all of his too. Bam. That helps a little bit. That's pretty neat. So now, if I wanted to, let's go back. I can buy stuff because buying stuff is good. So let's buy Yuffie. Only 4. Lame. Probably not worth it then. Excuse me. But who else would I be buying for exactly if not Yuffie? You know, like Toto, I'm not even close. He's 100. I don't use Nanalie, so I used to use her, but her upper version's better. So that's gonna be the plan for that. Yeah, it's like it's Yuffie or nobody. Like I like Kigasa. Don't get me wrong, but like, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the Yuffies. Actually, hold on. Let's not buy. So I had 2,002 or 1,000. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Okay, so now buy this. Okay, what else we got here? Buying stuff is so much fun. Said no one ever. But it has to be done, I guess. Okay. Scroll down. They give you so much crappy stuff too. It's like you can buy one of these a day. Like really, just one? I need like 10,000, but sure, I guess one's okay. All right. Okay, bought this. I said I bought this. Stupid thing. Okay. And I got those, so. And now I have to go to my alliance. I also forgot to do this when I was give me a second here. Okay. And okay, guess we're done with that. I guess I could. Let me see something here. Yeah, I got a lot. Look at that. It's a lot. Okay, and then we'll not even close. Okay. Okay. All right, we'll go and do a mode, and that'll be it. I don't think I could beat that team. I can't really read it so well. Maybe I can. We'll try. We'll give it a shot. What's my current team that I'm using? Interesting. Let's put in Yuffie just for fun. Just for fun. And I will give her... you know what? It probably is fine. She'll do fine. Let's go. So much support in this. There's no way we can lose. We'll see. Looks like I'm... We're doing pretty well right now, don't you think? Tito couldn't handle that cell phone, huh? Like most teenage girls. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But like seriously, she got owned by a cell phone. Okay, that wasn't bad. Let's try another one. Oh, I can't be SS rank, but she. Oh, definitely not. Oh, definitely not that either. Probably. I mean, D-Tar's pretty powerful though. So I wouldn't I wouldn't downplay his abilities. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing. If I fully level up D-Tart, he probably will be pretty good in the game. I just don't want to. So we're fighting 3 Lelouches in this battle. It's crazy. We're fighting Lelouch v. Britannia, Birthday Lelouch, and Halloween Lelouch. It's quite a battle here. It's basically the side support characters versus like every iteration of Lelouch besides Zitto. That's kind of cool. Can Zero take out the other one? That's funny. Oh, I'm sorry, it's every Lelouch. We're not doing so well in this one. Yeah, we're getting owned. This is not good. This is not going so well. Damn it! We're gonna win this battle? What the hell? We beat 4 Lelouches. Jesus, that was a close one. Oh my god, that was a close battle. I thought I was gonna lose that. Jesus, I think the total power up at the end saved us because that was not looking too good. I'll say that much. You know what? I think we'll lose this battle, but I'll try it anyways. I think we're not going to win this one, but I'll give it a shot. I wonder how well the sunlight's going away. That's why I'm getting darker. Yeah, we're not gonna win this battle. We're getting destroyed. Oh yeah, we're dead. All right, I'll close this out now. we totally lost. That was brutal, absolutely brutal. But it's cool. We won two-thirds of the fight, which is fine. And more important, I love my characters, which is all I really cared about, anyways. Um, all right, cool. And what mission did I get? Oh, I'm gonna say I didn't do anything else in a while. All right. I don't know about that. That's a little rough. It's a little rough, guys. But I could definitely see that. Anyways, I'm ending here. Thanks guys for partaking in the stream. Next week we will go over the 3rd episode of Akito the Exiled, and I guess play more of this. We'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and have a good week. I will see you guys next Sunday. Assuming nothing happens, obviously.